Hey everybody, today we're going to show you where to find all 13 shrine locations in order here in chapter 5 of Black Myth Wukong, so let's jump into it. So starting from the very beginning of the chapter, you're going to have a couple enemies that will be directly in front of you when you spawn, and you'll have to take them out, and once you do, it'll cue a cutscene, and after that cutscene, you'll make your way through the giant double doors here, and you're just going to follow the main path right here on the right, to where you'll be able to find your first shrine. And this one is going to be called Ashen Pass number 1. Now from the Ashen Pass 1 shrine, the next thing we're going to do is take the pathway to the northwest of that shrine. We're just going to follow this into this area. Now keep in mind there are going to be several enemies along this path. I've already taken them out, so it's a little easier to follow where we're going. But heading toward the tree, you're going to take a left and go up these stairs, and then you're going to take another left and go up a much longer flight of stairs. When you get to the top and take a left here, you're going to have a boss fight that happens right here in this little area. He's going to be protecting the next shrine, and once you take him out, you'll be able to grab the next shrine that is right here. And this one is called Camp of Seasons. Now, after you grab Camp of Seasons, we're going to take a left and cross the bridge. This is the only direction that you can go, so you shouldn't have too much of an issue here. You're going to work your way down through this cave and then follow the path to the left. Going to see it's going to go down through another section of this little cave area. When you get to the bottom, there's going to be a bridge. We're going to go ahead and cross this bridge and just continue straight. You're going to see this giant tree. We're going to work our way up toward the little building on the top of the staircase here in front of us. Now, once you make your way up to this building, you're going to see in front of you is going to be another bridge. We're going to go ahead and run across that. And we're just going to continue straight on this path towards this staircase over here. Run past all these enemies, will make your way up the stairs, and then where this giant tree is here in front of you is where you'll be able to find the next shrine, and this one is called Height of Ember. You'll have to take out the enemies that are nearby before it'll let you grab it if this is your first time out here, but once you do so, you can grab Height of Ember. And once you grab the Height of Ember shrine, we're immediately going to be put into a boss fight in this open area over here to the left. An enemy will jump over the wall, and you'll have the boss fight right here. After that boss fight, you'll be able to go through the doorway where the boss came from, and we're just going to follow that path all the way down the hill and into this cave that's going to be in front of us. Now, it's really dark in this cave. Essentially, to make your way out, we're just going to go all the way to the back and stay to the left. So you'll see that we'll run through this first section here, go to the back, hang a left, continue to go all the way around, and then you'll see on your left here is going to be the exit to the cave, and we can work our way under the bridge that we just crossed. Now, once you get down here, you're going to have another boss fight. There's going to be a cart that's blocking the way. You'll be able to see its location where all the fire is down here. So you have to take him out. And once you take him out, I recommend going back to the shrine and then coming back, because immediately after you take this guy out, when you come out on the other end, you're going to be in another arena where you're going to have another boss fight right here. So a lot of boss fights to get to this next shrine, but once you defeat them all, you can make your way up the path, and you guys will see the next shrine is going to be right here on your left. And this one is called Ashen Pass number 2. Now from the Ashen Pass 2 shrine, all we're going to do is turn to the right, and we're going to continue to follow this main pathway that leads into this cave. And we're not really going to encounter any enemies along this path, which is pretty nice, as we're just going to be making our way to the next area of this chapter. You'll have some wool here that you can pick up, and then you'll be able to go in between the crack in the wall, and this is going to lead you back outside. When we make it to the other side, we can go ahead and make our way to the light, and you're going to notice this fox that kind of spawns in out of nowhere. All you need to do is follow this fox. If this is your first time in this area, you'll just be able to follow the fox all the way to the next location. However, if you've already been out here and you just missed the shrine, you won't have the fox to guide you, but it's pretty simple. You're just going to make your way to where you see all the fire, and you're going to stay to the right. And you're going to work your way all the way down this hill where you can see the lava. And this is going to be a dead end, and you'll see that the fox is going to turn back into a person. And all we're going to do, it looks like it's going to cue a little cutscene here. All you're going to do is make your way to the bottom, and you're going to jump off. When you get down here, you can just run and jump, and that will jump you right into a cutscene where you land at the bottom. You're introduced to Furnace Valley. Now, once you're down here, you're just going to follow the water. You can see the opening over here. This is where you will encounter one enemy, and you will need to defeat him to be able to get the shrine. You can see he's going to be protecting it, standing right in front of it. But once you take him out, you can go back here and grab the shrine, which is going to be called the Valley Entrance. Now from the Valley Entrance Shrine, you're just going to continue to follow the main pathway here. Now on this path, you're going to encounter a couple enemies that will pop up out of nowhere. You guys can see them here. Just make sure that you're dodging if you don't want to fight them because they will attack you pretty quickly. But there's like 4 or 5 that you'll follow along the path here. But once you make it to the end, we're going to make our way down the hill. You can follow these little towers as they'll help kind of guide you in the direction that you need to go. We're going to stay to the left and you'll see this archway here in front of us. We're going to go underneath that archway and then follow that path to the right. And once we get up here, we're going to take a right and you're going to see another archway. So you're pretty much just going to follow these archways. There's another one right here at the top of the hill and we're just going to go underneath that. Now do be prepared because once you go through this one, you're going to have another boss fight in this little arena that's right here. So you'll be able to complete this boss fight, and once you do so, you'll be able to go up to these double doors at the top of the stairs and you'll be able to open them up. So they'll initially be closed, but after the fight, you'll be able to come up here and open them. And once they're open, you guys will see the next shrine is going to be right here, which is the Rakshasa Palace. Now, after you grab the Rakshasa Palace shrine, we're just going to continue to follow that pathway over here to where you can see this staircase. Essentially, to get to this next one, it's pretty easy. We're just going to follow the bridges. There will be a couple enemies along the way here, but you can just run by them if you don't want to take the time to fight them. When we go across this second bridge, we're going to take a right, go down the stairs, and you're going to see the giant enemies here in front of you. Once you get up this little staircase, take a right and follow it through this little gazebo area. We're just going to go all the way up to the top and then down on the other side. And then you're going to want to be careful when you're in this area as you're going to see fireballs are going to land from the giant enemies there. So just be careful for that as you're making your way through. You're going to find the next shrine that's right here in front of you. And this one is called the Emerald Hall. So from the Emerald Hall shrine, we're going to have to do a little bit of work to be able to get to the next one. The first thing you're going to do is make your way up the staircase here. And if this is your first time making it to this area, it's going to cue a cutscene and take you to a boss fight. However, if you end up dying, you can come back up here and try that boss fight again, right here in the middle in front of this altar. But once you finish this boss fight, you're then going to continue along the path, working your way up the stairs. And this is really the only direction that you can go, so it's pretty difficult to get lost here. But you're going to cross the bridge. And when you make it to the other side, we're just going to work our way up the staircase that you can see here in front of us. And then we're going to go all the way to the back towards that tree and follow that staircase up and around. Again, you'll see that there are some enemies along the way that you can fight or not, depending on what you want to do. But when you make your way to the very top of these stairs, you're going to take a right. You're going to have another little boss fight that takes place in this little open area here in front of us. It's going to be another one of those giant carts, one of the 5 that you'll have to fight throughout this level. But once you take him out, you can continue along the path here. We'll go around the back. Go up the stairs. You'll have an enemy right here. We're going to take a left and go up this really long staircase. And once you make it to the top, all you're going to do is follow this pathway along the mountainside. And there will be some enemies along the way, as you'll be able to see. So just be careful of that. You can stop and fight them if you want, or you can just dodge past them. But essentially, you're just going to follow this pathway along the side of the mountain, and it's going to lead us to our next shrine. So go up, you'll see the tower here in front of us. Just continue along the path, and then straight in front of you, you can't miss it, will be the next shrine. This one is going to be the Ashen Pass 3 shrine. Now from the Ashen Pass 3 shrine, our next one is going to be a pretty lengthy hike. And this one is a little bit tricky. I highly recommend that you take your time. If this is your first time making it to this section, along this pathway, you're going to encounter a giant boulder that is rolling back and forth trying to take you out, and it will one-hit you, so you don't want to get touched by it. What you're going to do is essentially just make your way like 30 or 40 feet and then just stand on the side where there's little openings, let the boulder go by you, and then when it comes back the other direction, you can continue along the path. You can see here's an opening on the right that you can hide in. There's another little opening on the left right here. So there's a couple different places that you can go to. But I ended up dying like 3 times the first time I made it through this area because I was trying to rush it. So just be really careful. Take your time because it is a pretty long path where the boulder is going to keep coming back and forth trying to run you over. But once you make it to the end of that path, you won't have to worry about the boulder anymore. You can continue to work up to the next shrine. And once you grab it, you can come back and that boulder will be gone. And in fact, to get to the shrine after this one, we are going to have to go back in that direction and take one of the pathways that are going to be, veering off from that main path that we just took. But from there, all you're going to do is make your way all the way up this crazy rock bridge. You're not going to encounter any enemies. You can see this area is extremely cool. But you're going to come over here and make your way to the top of the hill. And you'll be able to see right here in front of us is where you're going to be able to pick up the next shrine. And once you grab this one's going to be called the Fallen Furnace Crater. So from the Fallen Furnace Crater Shrine, now all we're going to do is turn around and head back in the direction that we just came from. We're going to go grab another shrine that actually leads to the area where the secret spot on this map or in this chapter is. Unfortunately, for the first half of this hike, again, you won't have to encounter any enemies. And keep in mind that boulder will no longer be there once you progress far enough to grab the shrine, so you won't have to worry about that. But we're going to make our way back up the hill and along that path. And when you see the first tower, it's going to be that tower that's straight across from us along the pathway. When we get to the other side of that tower, we're going to take a pathway on the left. It's going to lead down a hill. So you can see the tower here. We're going to continue on the main path around the back side of it. You're going to see right here, we can take a left and actually go down this hill. This is going to be a secondary pathway, so there are going to be a lot of enemies along this one that you're going to want to watch out for. We're essentially going to stay to the right here. I don't know what I was doing while recording this. You go down around these rocks, it's a dead end. You're essentially going to go down there, but to get down there, you're going to go to the right and go around. And as you can tell, there's enemies everywhere. You're going to have this little small boss in this area, this Vanguard. You can run by him if you want, or you can take the time to fight him. But once you're done, just continue to follow this pathway. You'll have all the little fire snakes pop up out of the ground as you're running by. We're going to take a right, continue to work our way down here. And like I said, we're pretty much working our way all the way down to the bottom. And down here is going to be, again, where the secret entrance to the secret area of the map is, where there is another boss fight that's much harder. But as you follow this pathway, you're going to see all the way down here on the left is the next shrine. So you can come down here and grab this one, and this shrine is going to be called Cooling Slope. So from the Cooling Slope Shrine, the next thing we're going to do is make our way to the secret area of the map. Now I'm going to have a video that shows you exactly how to get this thing open if you don't already know, but it's very simple. There's 5 carts around the map that you encounter that you pretty much have to fight to continue with the main story, and you just have to defeat all 5. And you're going to talk to the Bison NPC. He's the very first character that you talk to in the chapter, and then you just talk to him one more time where he's going to be standing next to one of the carts that you have to face. And once you do so, after defeating all the carts, this will be your 5th and final cart, which is actually a very difficult boss fight. So just be prepared when you make it down here to this area. It might take you a while, but once you're done defeating the cart, you can speak with that Bison guy. It's going to be laying over here by the rocks, and he's going to cue a cutscene where he opens up the ice door for you. And after that cutscene, all you have to do is walk up to it, interact, and you'll be able to go inside. Again, I'll have a video showing you exactly how to do this if you don't already know all the details. It's pretty simple. But once you make your way into this secret area, you're just going to follow the path down the hill. And there's going to be a tower. You can see it right here in front of us. This was my first time exploring this area, so I was kind of just looking around for a second. But all you have to do is run to that tower, and it's going to cue a cutscene. You'll see as we get close, it'll pull us in, show us a cutscene of the tower. And then after it's over, it's going to give us access to our character again, and we're just going to follow the path behind that tower. It's pretty straightforward. There's not really any other directions that you can go. Just follow that path. You will encounter several of the rhino enemies along the way. You can stop and fight them if you want. If not, you can just go straight to the shrine. But just continue to follow that path all the way around. You're going to see a staircase right here. We're going to go up the stairs and down on the other side, and the shrine's going to be right on your left. You'll see it right here. You can go ahead and grab that. That will be shrine number 11. And this one is called the Purge Pit. After you grab the Purge Pit shrine, facing the shrine, we're going to take a right and follow the pathway in almost a circle here down the stairs and around. And this is going to lead to another arena where we're going to have another boss fight, which is going to be right here when you drop down. This is actually where that giant boulder that was rolling back and forth is going to split into 2 and be 2 enemies. So you're going to be fighting 2 people at the same time. It's not too much of a challenge. I was able to do it, and I'm a moron, so you should be able to get it without too much of a problem. But once you make it through the main doorway, you're just going to follow the main path. This one's pretty straightforward after the boss fight. You're just going to run past 3 or 4 rhino bosses or rhino enemies. And once you make it past those guys, we're just going to come all the way down here, and in the corner, you can't miss it, will be the next shrine. This one's number 12, and it's called Cave Depths. Now from the Cave Depths, we're going to work our way to the final shrine in the chapter. This is a little tricky. You're going to have 5 or 6 rhino guys down here, and then you're going to have a much bigger one in the back. You're not going to see him because I've already fought him. But the key to this is to go slow and take out one rhino at a time instead of running in and getting them all to attack you. As with all 5 of the regular ones and the big one in the back, it can be a little bit of a challenge to fight them all at one time. But once you make it through them, you're just going to follow the main pathway in the cave. We're going to stay to the right here, go past these 2 rhino guards. And then we're just going to stay straight along this path. You can see I'm going to look to the right, but we're just going to continue to go straight here. We're going to end up in this area where you can see the icicles, and all you're going to do is walk up towards them, and there's going to be an ice slide that's going to lead you down to the final shrine. And this area is really awesome because there is a really cool boss fight that takes place just past this shrine. But right here is where you're going to be able to get the 13th and final shrine, which is the Corridor of Fire and Ice. But this is where to find all 13 shrines here in Chapter 5 of Black Myth Wukong. Hopefully this video helps some of you guys out. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next one.